Hello, everybody. You're watching. Yo, what's up? You're watching. Great the Movie and TV Guy. And Bird Up, the worst show on television. Blah, 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 blah. You're watching Snail Down. Sorry. I'm out here in Brooklyn. Craft Bunk, get out of here. I guess you can guess what review this is going to be. Hi, I'm Grant, the Movie and TV Guy. Again. Talking about another movie. I told you to be back. Sounded like Supervillain. I told you to be back. Sorry, I got the giggles. What movie are you talking about today? Because it's, movies and TV reviews. That's what we do here. So what are you talking about? We're talking about a movie, Bad Trip. This movie is directed by this guy, Kitao Sakurai? Was it Sakurai? I hope I'm saying your name correctly, sir. I'm probably butchering your name. But this guy, I think this is his first movie, but he directed every single episode of the Eric Andre show, which is fitting because this is basically the Eric Andre movie. So what is Bad Trip about? Not just because Eric Andre's in it, but because it's basically the show, the show, particularly the out on the street kind of bits that aren't in like the talk show parts. As a movie. What's Bad Trip about? Bad Trip is in the tradition of films such as the Borat films, the Jackass films, particularly Jackass Bad Grandpa, and Impractical Jokers, the movie, the like. It's a film with a thin plot that kind of connects things together, but for the most part, it's just about pranks and mayhem and general gross out insanity. But what plot there is centered on Chris. He's played by Eric Andre. His best friend Bud is played by Lil Rel Howery in a role that I think might in some ways it wouldn't surprise me if it was originally intended for Hannibal Buress. He's great in the film though. Lil Rel Howery, who's of course terrific, kind of really great comedian for a while, kind of bounced to people's attention. Yeah, for his great kind of comic relief role in Get Out. He's been everywhere lately, including the underrated basketball comedy Uncle Drew, which is, I said, the best movie based on a commercial ever. Next to Space Jam. Anywho, and they're best friends, lifelong best friends. But they're ready to get out of their town. They're sick of their dead-end life. Bud in particular, the Lil Rel Howery character, is constantly abused on seemingly since childhood by his sister Trina, played hilariously by the great Tiffany Haddish, who is constantly ex-con. She's kind of finds herself in and out of jail. She's kind of she's become hard from the experience. She bullies her brother constantly, comes into his work at one point and throws what looks like an icy on him, just like throws basically like, you remember in the show Glee when they slushy people? That's basically what she did, where she just threw like a red frozen drink at him. And basically what happens is that luck begins to seemingly change for Chris / Eric Andre, because he's basically playing himself, when his former childhood flame Maria comes into the place he works. It's a smoothie place. Well, first it's a mechanic, and then a smoothie, or car wash, and then it's a smoothie place. And basically, she's like, oh my god, he's like, oh my god, it's you, and she's like, oh yeah, we went to school together, I'm an art gallery owner, here's my card if you're ever in New York. He takes that, being the goofball he is, as an invitation to go on a trip and profess his undying love for her. So he and his best friend steal Trina's car. Very Ferris Bueller of them. It's a pink car that says a word I can't say on this particular channel, out of fear of horrifying some of my older viewers and ruining my younger ones. So they go on a cross country trip, but soon Trina escapes from prison, finds out they stole his car, and is now on a mission of revenge, going across country, following them to New York. And along the way, much in the style of everything else, they pull gross out stunts on a very, very, very unsuspecting, public of non-actors who did not sign up for it. and are in for a real shock. So Bad Trip is, I'm gonna tell you right now. This is a movie that is the epitome of laughter is subjective and acquired taste. All right, I'm just gonna tell you right out there. My score reflects my opinion of this comedian and of my humor level. So believe me when I tell you that, one, it is no secret I have memed this guy on this channel multiple times. I've mentioned him a lot. I've been counting the days to this movie. I love Eric Andre. I love the Eric Andre show. I think the guy's a mad genius. I think he's brilliant. I think he's funny. I think his stuff is weird and avant-garde and gross and just out there. And I always praise comic people for going for it. When they just go for it, no shame. People like Tim and Eric, and are not afraid of offending every single person on the planet. Sacha Baron Cohen, like those guys, geniuses. So, also, comedy being subjective, when it comes to comedies, especially comedies that are skit-based like this, like the Jackass movies, for instance, you cannot judge it based on acting, you cannot judge it based on, like, filmmaking, you cannot really judge it on the usual merits of film. All you can judge is how often did you laugh, how hard did you laugh, and how long did you laugh. And on that basis, Bad Trip is one of the funniest movies of the last 2 years. I pretty much laughed about 5 minutes in. I chuckled about a minute in. 5 minutes in, I was bellowing, and for about the next hour and 20 minutes, the movie is relatively short, I was pretty much on the floor, almost wetting myself for about a good 98% of this film's runtime. This movie is genius. If there's one knock you can say against it in comparison to things like Borat, or even, like, for instance, the climax, like the pageant part of Bad Grandpa, it doesn't quite have satirical sting, it is just about shenanigans. But that's okay, because I think that what this show's really great in a lot of these things is both the way people react when they don't know they're in the middle of a potentially scary situation. Some people react with kindness, some people react literally kicking. One dude kicks Eric Andre and something. There are set pieces in this movie that are among the funniest I've seen in a while. There's one where Eric Andre as Chris, kind of immediately after that setup, it's early in the film, and this is the moment where I bellowed, pretty much, is doing this impromptu Disney-style musical number through a shopping mall to the horror of onlookers, while a bunch of other, actors who are in the same uniform are dancing with him and acting like they're actually doing this in the middle of the food court. Stuff like that. There's a really horrifyingly gross bit involving a gorilla that I can't even talk even a little bit about, but you have to see it to believe it. It's horrifying, but hilarious. And just the reaction is so genuine. There's one involving a vacuum at said car wash and how good its suction is. There is another really great gross gag involving a Chinese finger trap going where no Chinese finger trap should ever have to go. There's another sort of bit involving Tiffany Haddish and a stolen cop car to the horror of onlookers. There's like a bit, basically an homage to the Wayans brothers, rather, cult comedy White Chicks. All sorts of stuff, and it's just, it's great. It's hilarious. I had a real blast with Bad Trip. This is one of those comedies like Barb and Star, where I really wish I could have seen it with an audience. I think this movie would have been so much fun on a Friday night with a crowd. In the same way that something like Impractical Jokers, the movie, I got to see with a crowd. I got to see it before the pandemic shut theaters down, and that was a blast. And actually, the trailer for this movie this movie was out a while. In fact, this movie leaked on Amazon in January of 2020, and I missed it. But they announced that Netflix had bought it, and so I've just been waiting out until today when they released it. Some people have already seen this movie in that brief window. Your Movie Sucks, for instance, did a review of it and also quite liked it. So, before you jump all over my back, this score is based on laughs. Entirely on laughs. And that's how I judge this film. So, on a laugh basis, I can't go lower than a 4.5 star, you guys. Not quite Barb and Star, just because Barb and Star had that sort of mad rush of just, I've never seen this before. I've seen the kind of movie that Bad Trip is before, but that doesn't make it any less funny. Bad Trip gets 4.5 out of 5 stars. I've had a blast with this movie. I think it's hilarious. And, but I have to warn you, it is not for kids. Even compared to the Eric Andre show, this movie uses its R rating. There are some jokes that go into NC-17 territory. It's very, very raunchy. And it's not for you who don't like gross out humor and don't like Eric Andre. If you hate Eric Andre, and some people do, this will not change your mind. If you hate the Adult Swim style of humor and like that kind of, sort of deadpan anti-humor and gross out, physical humor of pain kind of stuff, you will not like this movie. I love this movie because I love all that stuff. Adult Swim. I'm kind of bummed that I'm going to go the night they're going to go. I'm going to have plans the night they're doing April Fool's Day. I almost want to tape it. This is a blast. All right. No more needs to be said. Bad Trip gets a 4.5 stars out of 5 based on laughs per minute ratio. So, I hope they make a sequel. I want to go on another trip with these dudes. And bring Tiffany Haddish back along, please. She was hilarious. Yeah. I also feel like there's a longer cut of this movie. This is one of those movies where some of the gags in the trailer were not in the movie, shockingly. Or at least, if they were, I blinked and they were there for like a split second. But yeah, this is a good time. So, I hope you know what they should do? Either a sequel, or do like the Jackass movies do, and do like Bad Trip 1.5. Like, do like a movie of all the stunts that got cut. Like, just string kind of a movie out of that. That would be cool. Anyway... So, yeah, 4.5 out of 5 stars. Alright, segments. Trailer trash, none. This is Netflix. Was there shawarma? Yes, and actually, the movie doesn't end when the credits do. That's the other thing, is that the movie goes all the way throughout the credits. It's, much like the Jackass movies, what they do is there's some bloopers, but they also show, like, and some bits that didn't make it in the movie, a few. There's also what they do, which is always my favorite part of these movies, and they didn't do it in Impractical Jokers the movie, which I did not understand. But they do it in the Jackass movies, where they show Eric Andre and the filmmakers coming out and telling the unwitting people that they're in a prank movie, and like their reactions. They go back to like the stunts from earlier, and they show them. That's really cool. So that's worth sticking around for, and there's some big laughs there. Yeah, don't. And also, the movie's ending bleeds into the credits, so there's no time for you to get up. It just keeps going. It's basically, the movie continues throughout the credits. So, let's close the book on it. I will be back. I really want to do a review of Superstore at some point, because I really love that show. I watched all of it, every episode. Great show. But yeah, we're going to do Solar Opposites. We're at SNL tomorrow, and then, we're going to do those re-reviews in the next few weeks, around in that frame of time. Promising Young Woman, Mank, and Charlie Cook 7. I've already seen them. I've already seen all the Best Picture nominees, but this is what, we're going to do this before. So I can have like a record, so all 8 of them, you can make like a playlist, so that anyone before the show who's new to the channel wants to see my Best Picture reviews will get to see all of them in one place. So that's fun. We're going to do... Next Wednesday's Godzilla vs. Kong. And a Resident Alien Season 1 review. Not Resident Evil, Resident Alien. Also, that Suicide Squad trailer looks amazing, I have to say. I'm really excited. The James Gunn one. I'm here for it. And then, what else? We also might have a review of The Unholy. Think about checking that guy out. I also watched the first episode of The Mighty Ducks Game Changers, and I quite liked it. I'm looking forward to talking about that at the end of the season. I'll definitely be watching the rest of it. Also next week, To Rent is a movie that's gotten a lot of buzz since last year, A Shiva Baby. I might check that out and give a review. I saw the trailer, and I quite liked it. So, yeah. Some or all of those will be in the coming days and weeks. Yeah. That'll be next time. Until next time, I'm Grant, the movie and TV guy. I see it all, and I'm happy to share it with you. This movie was a lot of fun. Love you all. Appreciate you all. Be kind to one another. Love you all, class dismissed. Love you 3000. Thank you all. Take care.